Alright, welcome back to Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. CelJaded here playing the Shifting Sands mod for Tuesday, week 3 of March 2006. So first off the bat, I apologise for the poor video quality of the previous episode. That's HDR for you, always causing problems with video capture. But nonetheless, hopefully we're back in full colour here with a World Heavyweight Champion opening another episode of SmackDown by admitting Randy Orton has an impressive record over him in tag matches, but Batista promises to end this issue between them one-on-one. And of course, we know that Batista will be facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania to defend his World Heavyweight Championship. And so yeah, even though Orton has got quite a couple of wins now over Batista on this save in tag team affairs, he did not get the pin on Dave Batista last week when he teamed up with Eminem to face Batista and his allies. So yeah, Batista kind of making the point here that Randy Orton still has yet to beat Batista one-on-one, and that is where they are going to decide this feud of theirs once and for all. That's the promise, at least. We'll have to see what Randy Orton has to say about it, because you know he will have something to say about it. But before that happens, we've actually got an interruption from Eminem. So that's Nitro, Mercury and Melina, with Joey Mercury leading the charge on this occasion, because it is him, Joey Mercury, making a one-on-one challenge for tonight. So he is challenging Batista. Batista is quick to accept this, of course. No problem facing Joey Mercury in our main event on SmackDown. So this is spinning out of the match from last week. It was Randy Orton who abandoned Eminem at the end of that match and left them to fend for themselves against Batista, Big Show and Kane in that interpromotional six-man tag team match. And yeah, so Batista, after the match, taking his frustrations out on the two heels by powerbombing the pair of them. And it's Joey Mercury and Nitro here acting like true heels, because they're not going to blame Randy Orton. They're sure as hell not going to blame themselves. So they're placing the blame at Batista's feet for this situation where they feel like they were taken advantage of after the match, and you know, just all that beautiful hypocritical heel stuff here. So yeah, it will be Joey Mercury getting the main event slot. How do you like that? Put some shine on one of our tag team workers, and yeah, we'll see how he fares when he meets Dave Batista in the ring later tonight. But before we get there, we've got matches, of course, and our first one is Kid Cash and Jamie Noble getting a win here over a new tag team we've just put together in Chavo Guerrero and Scotty 2 Hotty. And this is really just an opportunity to get Scotty on the card and throw this man a bone, because he's done some good work for us on this save, putting various people over. You look at this guy's stats, and yeah, Scotty, he's like the only person on this save, I think, that has the irrepressible personality type, which means he has a very positive impact backstage, never gets frustrated putting other people over, always makes them shine and look good, and he's got tag team credentials as well that can add to a match, at least when he gets enough experience with the tag team. So I thought, seeing as Chavo, as we can see here, is a very capable worker, and we haven't used him in a storyline for quite a while now, since the William Regal stuff kicked off anyway. So I was keen to give some spotlight for these two on SmackDown, but for the moment we need them to give Kid Cash and Jamie Noble the win, because they're of course on a collision course with the Mexicools very soon. And speaking of Mexicools, here they are, because it is that rebellious faction challenging Cash and Noble once again after this match, stipulating that they want no interference, no underhanded tactics. They want to settle this once and for all, like men. Kid Cash and Jamie Noble, will they face the Mexicools? The challenge is made. And you might notice here, there's no interference on behalf of the Mexicools. They're not getting involved in the match directly here to make their point, as they have been doing. They're saying, yeah, the time for this petty squabbling is over. They need to settle this now, because we are getting very close to WrestleMania, and it's about time that Kid Cash and Jamie Noble paid the price for what they did to the Mexicools at No Way Out, with Shane McMahon's help, of course. So, you know, part of this challenge is kind of directed at Shane. Make the match happen. He is the authority here on SmackDown, and yeah, Shane doesn't want to know what the Mexicools might do next if their challenge is ignored. So that is the situation. Mexicools have thrown down the gauntlet. We're going to have to wait to see what the response is. But again, before that happens, we have got another montage here of Matt Hardy who is training heavily, and it is Matt Hardy now promising that The Miz's days as Cruiserweight Champion are numbered. So remember, The Miz, Cruiserweight Champion, said that he would not give Matt Hardy a rematch that Matt Hardy so desperately craved for the kind of personal issues between them. And yeah, Miz has said now that he's Cruiserweight Champion, he has a responsibility to defend that title whenever he is booked. And seeing as Matt Hardy is a middleweight, at the time this save was started, he is not eligible to face Miz for the Cruiserweight Championship. So now Matt Hardy has taken that as a challenge, and he is working out, and he is cutting weight, and yeah, he's dieting, you name it. This video montage here is of Matt Hardy taking this challenge very seriously. Can he become a cruiserweight in time is the question, because WrestleMania, as we've said, is very, very close now. Matt Hardy does not have much time left if he hopes to make a cruiserweight in time to challenge The Miz for that supercard. So good luck to Matt Hardy, but of course we wouldn't leave this without giving The Miz another opportunity to weigh in on the situation. No pun intended. You know what? Pun intended. I intend my puns. Screw it. And before The Miz gets a chance to speak, though, it is his manager, Trinity, towing the same line that she did before, laughing off Matt Hardy's attempts here to get into shape. And it is Trinity saying that, yeah, Matt hasn't got a chance of making the weigh-in, which he reveals is going to be next week. So Matt Hardy has only 7 days left to become a cruiserweight, and there will be an official weigh-in. As bad as an idea as it may be to do a weigh-in on live television, but hell, we're going to try it anyway. So yeah, Matt Hardy's got 7 days left to get to cruiserweight status if he hopes of challenging The Miz for that Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania. And The Miz, of course, right there with Trinity, agreeing with everything that she says. But you gotta admit, The Miz, the champion, sounds a lot less confident than he did before. So as this video montage, looking very impressive as Matt Hardy in this footage, Miz is starting to maybe sweat it a little bit now, maybe panicking that maybe Matt Hardy could pull this off. Only time will tell. And now we're back with Johnny Nitro and Melina. Joey Mercury, of course, preparing for his main event match against Batista later tonight. So it is just Johnny Nitro with his manager Melina here, and they are arguing backstage with Brian Kendrick and Paul London. The pair of those two, of course, will be involved in the unification match at WrestleMania, where we will decide new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. We know that the Hooligans will be in that match. We know Eminem is going to be in that match representing the SmackDown brand. So yeah, already a little bit of chaos backstage with that announcement of that big 5-way ladder match, of course. And yeah, before the scene finishes, it's a familiar scene because it is Aja Kong now. Melina fleeing before Kong as Aja Kong shows up demanding something from Melina, a pound of flesh, a wad of cash, who knows. But it's clear that Melina has not made good on her promises to Aja Kong, who lent her support to Melina's faction at No Way Out, and Aja Kong has come to collect. And yeah, Melina now fleeing the scene as usual when Kong shows up. And she will be hitting the ring anyway, because we have another match with Melina, a women's match on SmackDown, as we like to have. And wow, not a bad match at that either. So it is Melina getting the win here over Meiko Satomura. So the final kind of one-on-one match in the series that we had planned here of Melina versus the Joshi Stars. So as we said, some of these Joshi wrestlers that we signed are on short contracts, and they were brought in basically to train up the women's division because they're very experienced. They have excellent skills that they can teach some of our more inexperienced but more popular workers here in WWE. So I'm very impressed with this. Melina actually coming in with a better in-ring performance than Satomura did on this occasion. So this is a very impressive rating. And yeah, Melina's getting close. I think a few more matches could crack her inexperience problems. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I'm going to guess if we get her out of the red and into the yellow on the experience stat, we may have some luck there. So yeah, getting ever closer with Melina, but I tell you what, performance is rising and popularity is rising, and the segment ratings are reflecting that. So this is all going according to plan so far. Very, very impressed with Melina's progress here. The only women's wrestler that we have on the SmackDown side that can actually hold a match by herself from a popularity standpoint. So as you can see here, we got the didn't have much heat warning, and that's again because Melina's having to kind of hold that completely by herself in terms of like fan interest. So, but she is doing it, and raise the floor, so to speak, with this, and try to build what we can out of the women's division that we have. Most of our women's stars, of course, our major women's stars, of course, are on the Raw side, but still kind of trying to do what we can on SmackDown to boost our capability in the women's division. So this is good stuff. And then more good stuff after the match, of course, where it is Aja Kong once again seeking Melina down like a missile. And here she is at ringside, and Melina, of course, quickly fleeing when she sees Aja Kong coming her way. So Aja Kong yet to catch up with Melina properly here, and we'll just have to see if she does finally manage to get her hands on her. So good stuff from the women's division on SmackDown. And more good stuff as we join Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry, who are signing their rubber match contract here on SmackDown. And afterwards, both athletes have a nice stare down, and you can imagine a very firm handshake as well. So this issue between Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley, it has moved beyond sneak attacks and brawls and disagreements on the mic, at least for the moment. And Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley are more interested in answering the question of who the strongest, most athletic man is between them. This has become a matter of personal pride between both men, because they both have a singles win, a singles victory over each other, and this match will be the deciding match to decide who the better man is. On this occasion at least. So Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley, good segment rating from these two popular stars, good to see. And next time we see them, will be one last push before their huge match at WrestleMania. Alright, and now we are back with Stacy Keibler, hype woman, who is greeting Akira Hokuto once again. And this time, much to Stacy's surprise, Akira agrees to talk to her. But of course, it is that old cliche where Akira here leads Stacy into a closet and then locks the door behind her. So Stacy now kind of banging on the door, trying to be let out. And no luck for Stacy on this occasion, trying to win the service, trying to win Akira Hokuto as a client. Stacy manager keen to get back in the managerial race here in WWE on SmackDown. She wants to offer Akira her managerial services, but Akira is not buying at the moment. So good stuff from these two ladies. And nice promo here from Shane McMahon, who is issuing the statement that he is not obligated to respond to the challenge issued by the Mexicools. That was earlier in the program, of course. Mexicools desperate to get Shane's allies, Kid Cash and Jamie Noble, in a fair fight in the ring at WrestleMania. And Shane McMahon playing hardball here and kind of ghosting the challengers. But he is playing with fire, because we know that the Mexicools are rebellious spirits, and they are more than happy to interfere in matches and break things down when they don't get their way. So Shane McMahon, like we said, playing with fire, but that's his stance for the moment. We'll have to see if his mind can be changed. But nevertheless, we are continuing with SmackDown, and now a good match here. Exactly what we expected and what we like to see, because it is Rey Mysterio putting in his typically strong performance, and Burchill not far behind. With a good match here, good mid-card match that got the time on SmackDown. And Rey Mysterio, with the surprise roll-up there, has beaten Paul Burchill in this semi-final match of the United States Championship Tournament. Rey Mysterio, ladies and gentlemen, is going through to the finals, as you knew he would do. Let's face it, you're not going to be able to hold this guy down with all the bonuses that he's got working in his favour. Just look at this. Great stuff from Rey Mysterio, as always on SmackDown. Yep, he's going through to the finals. He is one step closer to becoming United States Championship at the expense here of Paul Burchill. But we're not quite done, because we have got John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL of course, crashing Mysterio's celebration after the match. and using that as a nice opportunity to put himself over instead. Of course, JBL always acting the heel whenever he gets a chance, but a strong promo from him, really good stuff here, and although he's stealing the spotlight from Rey Mysterio, the question is now, will it be these two men at WrestleMania competing for the United States title? It's either going to be JBL and Rey Mysterio or Tajiri and Rey Mysterio, and you can bet Tajiri and Rey Mysterio would be a good high-flying match, so a lot of potential there in both outcomes, but we're going to have to wait to see how JBL fares in his semi-final match against Tajiri, which will be coming up on a later episode of SmackDown. But continuing with this episode of SmackDown, we have William Regal up next to say that he will get the respect he's owed in WWE when he ends The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. So there you have it, folks. William Regal has revealed his hand at last. Yes, he is through beating up guys after matches, slugging Hall of Famers backstage. Nah, he's through with that. William Regal, in an attempt to get the respect that he feels he is owed, has got a plan. If he beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania and ends the famous streak, then respect will be his. No one will be able to deny William Regal's toughness and his aptitude, and his respect will be coming to him if he can beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So William Regal with a strong promo here, making clear what his intentions are when we reach that supercard in the first week of April. But we're not quite done, because The Undertaker is here. Yes, folks, he is back. He has returned from the vile assault that William Regal inflicted on him when Regal essentially crashed a motorcycle into Undertaker on a previous episode of SmackDown. Very dramatic stuff. And Undertaker here, we can see, as we saw last time with the footage during William Regal's match on the last episode of SmackDown, the mind games have begun. The Undertaker is not rushing this. He's going to savor. He's going to savor every moment of stalking his prey, because William Regal, in the face of this grand entrance, as The Undertaker comes out, fails to stand his ground. And even though The Undertaker is clearly still favouring the wound that William Regal gave him last time with those brass knucks, Undertaker has not lost any of that ability to instill fear into the minds of mortal men. And William Regal here still a bit spooked. And despite the strong promo, your entrance was good, William, but Undertaker's was better on this occasion. And William Regal is forced to retreat. He's kicking himself that he's having to do this. But yeah, this is what Undertaker is all about. Commanding respect through fear. And William Regal's just getting another taste, another lesson in that here on SmackDown. But you can bet that when Undertaker is ready to throw down with William Regal, there's going to be hell to pay, by God. So as SmackDown moves on, we are here with Randy Orton now, the Viper, warning an animal. But that's not the animal Batista he's warning. It's actually Road Warrior Animal that Randy Orton has a problem with tonight. And he is telling Road Warrior Animal that you might want to think twice about giving any more advice to your boy, Dave Batista. Because Randy Orton doesn't like anyone helping Dave Batista. Anyone who's a friend to Batista is an enemy to Randy Orton. So Randy Orton making his feelings very clear here to Animal. Of course, this is spinning out of what we saw last week, where Dave Batista, knowing that he was going to be booked in a main event tag match, went to pick the brains of one half of the great Road Warriors Legion of Doom tag team, of course, Animal. Good old Uncle Joe himself, right here. And it is Road Warrior Animal who was giving Batista a little bit of advice ahead of his tag match, and Randy Orton has not taken kindly to this. So Animal, for his part, is not going to back down here, and he's willing to fight about it. So it looks like we're going to see Randy Orton versus Road Warrior Animal coming up right now. So Randy Orton is going to have to prove his point in the ring. So here we go then. Let's run the match. All right, not bad. So good heat and decent wrestling. As always, you can't ask for much more than that. It is Randy Orton getting the win over Road Warrior Animal with the RKO, of course. and a decent performance from both men here. This is a match that we did see on one of our very first episodes of SmackDown, where we were using Road Warrior Animal to put over some of our younger stars, and Randy Orton needed a little bit of heating up at that time. And just another instance of how useful Road Warrior Animal has been on this save. So good stuff from Animal. Still got plenty of popularity to give. It's slowly starting to buckle. I'm not sure how much juice will be left in that fruit for much longer, but good stuff from Animal nonetheless, doing exactly what we needed from him, putting our younger guys over. So this is good stuff. Nice little favour here, as we said, from Uncle Joe. Love to see it. So afterwards, Randy Orton gets on the mic, and he's got some promo time as well, to say that he is better than any tag team, and he will defeat Batista one-on-one at WrestleMania to prove it. So this is just more of the personal issue between Batista and Randy Orton, former tag team partners themselves at one point when they were running in the Evolution stable. And yeah, Orton throwing a little bit of shade on Batista's comments and saying, yeah, I've got to win over you, Batista, in tag team matches, but that doesn't mean that I'm a tag team wrestler. I'm better than that, and I've just proven it against Animal, and I'll prove it again against you when I beat you for that World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So good stuff from Randy Orton. Again, making this issue between him and Dave as personal as we can, of our two big stars on SmackDown who will be meeting, as we said, at WrestleMania. And another two workers that are meeting once again, Akira Hokuto and Stacy Keibler. And Akira is very annoyed here to see that a dishevelled Stacy, she's found her way out of the closet, so to speak. I meant the physical closet, folks. Man, that would be a hell of a twist, wouldn't it? But nonetheless, Akira is annoyed to see Stacy returning, and it is Stacy now still protesting her case. And she is protesting it even as Akira walks away and out of the room. So again, Stacy Keibler strikes out on SmackDown. She will not be Akira Hokuto's manager on this occasion by the looks of it. But keep at it, Stacy. I have faith you'll win her over in the end. So we are rapidly approaching our main event here. It has been a little bit of a quieter episode of SmackDown compared to the previous ones, but we're ready to finish on a high, if we can, with Joey Mercury, very capable tag team wrestler, saying that he's ready to go it alone and to avenge Batista's heinous act from last week when Batista, of course, powerbombed his partner Johnny Nitro, and himself, Joey Mercury, was powerbombed, of course, by Batista, which you would say was a completely fair outcome considering the conduct of Eminem in recent months. But nonetheless, it is Joey Mercury here feeling very offended, but feeling very ready to take it to Batista. And a really good opportunity for him to showcase himself in the main event of SmackDown, so good luck to him. But before we get to the match, we've got one last segment with Batista, and he is going to enjoy tearing Joey Mercury apart, he says, before getting back to the real issue, which is, of course, Randy Orton. So more promo time from Batista here, still looking and sounding like a star, and exactly what we want as we get closer to WrestleMania. But for now, for this episode of SmackDown, we need a good main event, so good luck to Batista and Joey Mercury. Alright, so Joey Mercury a little bit off his game on this occasion, but still a strong segment rating nonetheless. I think we actually topped the Rey Mysterio match there by 1 point. So, even though Joey Mercury was struggling on this occasion, still a match with great heat and decent wrestling. So, like I said, exactly what we wanted, really. So, good stuff here. Batista getting the win, of course, with the Batista bomb. Just another opportunity to make sure his momentum is fully where it needs to be ahead of that title match. But good stuff, good segment rating anyway, with Joey Mercury just about holding up his end. And probably enough bonuses on Batista's side, to help this one overcome maybe a little bit of nerves, a little bit of main event nerves there from Joey. But yeah, like I said, good segment rating, nothing to be disappointed about. And then as we march on, excellent, an excellent finish to the show. It is Orton calling out Batista post-match. There was no interference, there was no hijinks. It's just Randy Orton and Batista. We're keeping this simple, folks. They're staring down. They're throwing shade on the mic. and then they're going to get into a pull-apart brawl. So classic stuff here. It's Wrestling 101, but sometimes a little bit of old-fashioned is just what the doctor ordered. So there it is. Batista and Randy Orton having to be separated now by officials as SmackDown goes off the air. And to cap off what feels like a very strong episode. And then an overall rating of 78, certainly not bad. We're deep in the green, so that's where we want to be. And yeah, good episode of SmackDown from everyone involved. So we didn't hit any blue segments on this occasion, but plenty of green, so you can't ask for much more than that. As we move in now to the final week of March, can you believe it, folks? If my maths are correct, we have got only 2 episodes of Raw and 2 episodes of SmackDown left. Can you believe that? 2 weeks until WrestleMania. The early days of this series seem so far away now, and yet that supercard rapidly approaching, and we've still got more good stuff to come, more stories to cover, and more matches as well to run and get things ready for the huge culmination that will be WrestleMania 22. So look forward to it, folks. More good stuff, like I say, to come. Next episode will be week 4, and that will be starting with another episode of Monday Night Raw, followed by SmackDown, of course. So until then, keep the comments coming. You don't have to like or subscribe or any of that nonsense. Just enjoy the video, folks. And until I see you next time, take care. And look forward to seeing you back when Total Extreme Wrestling is on the air again for CelJaded. So thanks very much, and see you again next time.